Okay. Well, I just want to thank you all so much for being here. This is a full space. There's, I think, 400 something of our closest friends and colleagues here together. So many wonderful, familiar faces of partners that we've had the wonderful opportunity to work with. So I am Lilly Massa-McKinley, and I'm the Executive Director of the Kentucky Student Success Collaborative. And I'm very, very excited that the summit is finally here, and that on Wednesday, we can all take a nap. As both Dr. Thompson and Dr. Fisher and Marty have all kind of emphasized today, you know, the theme of our summit this year is partnerships that work. And I think that it is an amazing theme because there's really so many partnerships in action and partnership opportunities and just lessons learned through our partnerships over the last few years to kind of share with you. So I'm going to be super brief and super quick and just share a brief update on the work of the collaborative and all of the wonderful work that we've been able to do with you. So as I've reflected over the last 2 years of being a part of the Kentucky Student Success Collaborative, it's really felt like a dream sped up, like super fast motion. And it's hard to believe that it's only been 2 years since the collaborative launched and we really began this journey of collaboration on student success together. My first thought on all of this is just thank you. There is no collaborative without engaged partners. And together, I think that we're truly writing Kentucky's student success story together. I don't need to convince anyone in here about the benefits of post-secondary education and the great learning and training that we're doing. So I'm really not going to read many of these slides, but you guys know, like post-secondary education and pathways to opportunity, career success, career engagement, career satisfaction, economic mobility, prosperity, financial independence. I mean, these are all the wonderful things that this is our vision and this is our goals for the students that we're working with. And we're also, you know, really focused on Kentucky's bold goal that 60% of our population will hold a post-secondary degree or credential by 2030. And we're making amazing progress on that front as well. Over the last 5 years, I think that Kentucky's trajectory is tops. It's very impressive in the ways that we're increasing degree completions and closing equity gaps and making progress toward this North Star. And we're already at 55%, as Dr. Thompson mentioned. So we are on our way. But we also know that there are significant challenges and specific populations of students that we do not want to leave behind and that we need to make sure have access to all of these same wonderful opportunities for career advancement and financial independence. We know many of our enrollment stats, you know, we're tops in enrollment, and some populations have had incredible gains. But over the last 10 years, we have seen declines, overwhelming declines, among students from low-income backgrounds and our adult learners. And we know that we can't reach our 20 by 30 goal without these critical student populations being a part of our success story. We also know that when it comes to our education attainment, a lot of the gains that we've seen have been through short-term credentials. And we want to balance that. That is a critical stepping stone to career mobility, but we also are focusing on our transfer pathways and our baccalaureate degree completions and beyond, because we know that those are also incredible pathways to earning potential for our Kentuckians. I think that the good news is that there are several partnerships and initiatives already underway that are really working to address these challenges, and that ultimately we will be able to ensure lifelong learning and continuing education for our students. As you know, seeing the positive trends and I think also critical areas for improvement, CPE and the James Graham Brown Foundation partnered to launch the collaborative in 2021. With the purpose and charge to bring us together, to maximize our resources, to align our efforts, and to learn with and from one another for the benefit of students. Over these last 2 years, we've stepped into this space and we found incredible interest, engagement, support, energy, and investment from our partners across the state. The momentum around our shared strategic priorities has led to over $4 million in additional grants and cross-sector investment in higher education in Kentucky. Now, this is directly the result of partnership. It's not about grant writing. It is literally only because there is substance to talk about with funders and with our agency partners that we have had any success in bringing in more support for our work here in Kentucky. So I think that these investments are a real testament to the power of collaboration and the engagement of so many of you and the work that we're doing together. People are watching what we're doing in Kentucky. I know funders and national organizations are very interested in our secret sauce. They know that something very special is going on here, and I think that they're very eager to be a part of our work. I know I don't need to tell you that there is a lot going on. You are the ones that are showing up to the webinars, to the community of practice meetings, to the drive-in strategy meetings in Frankfurt, participating in our guiding teams to help us, plan out the direction and the implementation priorities. You're here at the Student Success Summit every year for the last 12 or 13 years, right? And that is what is really incredible about, I think, the broad reach that we've been able to have so far. We also, have really focused our goal on adding value. What is it that you need? Listening to the voice of our campus partners is what is ultimately guiding any of the work or the initiatives or the efforts that we're trying to share with you. So please do keep telling us what is most important so that any of the opportunities that are shared resonate, they add value, they make your lives and your jobs easier, and ultimately they allow us to leverage each other for our shared knowledge and thought partnership. So part of the work over the last 2.5 years has been focusing in on 3 really critical strategy areas. We're focusing in on transfer pathways, we're focusing in on gateway course success, and we're focusing in on student basic needs. These are 3 almost universal issues facing all of our colleges and campuses and all of our students here in Kentucky. So we have worked with you to co-create these strategies and the recommendations that we're moving forward. So thank you for that. You can find the full reports either at the QR code or on the Impact Exchange, which you can access on your agenda. And there's also a one-pager document for each of these strategies that kind of is a where are we now and what's next. So I hope that you'll kind of take some time to dig in. Just a few highlights on our transfer work. We will be scaling the transfer improvement communities. Western and Sky were pioneers in this continuous improvement work, and the results are just astounding. So we want to scale that direct partner-to-partner work to really create those seamless transfer pathways for our students. We also know that we'll be creating or establishing key performance indicator dashboards on each of these topics because it's really important to know where we're starting, what are our targets, and how are we doing along the way. Tracking that progress is essential. It's also key to hear the student voice. And so there'll be a huge emphasis around understanding the student's experience and even just engaging them in the dialogue around what can we do to improve. And then also focusing on targeted professional development and training that really reflects the priorities of our partners. So really excited to get this work going. There's already been so much momentum and energy. Related to the Gateway Course Success Strategy, hallelujah, if anybody was with us on January 31st and Phyllis Clark, and our Gateway Course Success Fellows, we launched this strategy and started working on what are the priorities for implementation. So again, on the Impact Exchange, you can read the full report as well as the one-pager kind of where we are now and what's next document. Just a few highlights. Again, focusing on our KPI data dashboards, focusing on student voice and their experience and what else do we need to do to better support and find solutions that really address their concerns. Focusing on targeted professional development based on stakeholder input and what do we really think that we need. And then finally, and this was a little bit of a surprise evolution to me, but I'm just thrilled about it, integrating our work around student basic needs in the academic experience of students, because those non-academic barriers often impact academic success. So this strategy, as I mentioned, is just kicking off, but there's already incredible energy and momentum. So thank you. And then our student basic needs work. This is so cross-sector and so multidimensional that it's really marvelous. I think that when I look at the pace at which I feel like we're making progress and moving forward in our understanding of student basic needs and security and the solutions and the ideas and the partnerships and the resources, the partnership is making us go faster. The work that we're able to do together and sharing of that work and that load is really helping us make incredible progress. So a few highlights. We're working with our Kentucky Stats office to create a student basic needs data dashboard that is going to be tops in the country. Everybody is waiting on what is Kentucky going to do with their data dashboard because of our incredible longitudinal data system and what we are going to be able to know that is very hard to know right now anywhere else. Focusing on targeted professional development and training opportunities like building trauma resilient communities. We had kind of a kickoff to that in November. We have more professional development trainings that'll be coming up this spring and other issues and priorities as our campus partners identify them. We're also going to be learning from and expanding this partnership with the Cabinet for Health and Family Services that has placed full-time benefit navigators called connectors. Maybe many of you know these wonderful people to help us provide direct service outreach to students facing basic needs and security and screen them for benefits and assist with application support and all of those things. So we're learning from that partnership and we're excited to grow it. And we're also going to be convening our stakeholders across Kentucky, to align and reinforce our efforts around supporting parenting students. You know, in our work with student basic needs, the needs of parenting students really rose to the top as something that we need help. We're not sure what we're doing. We think that we're missing a really critical part of our adult learner population because there's childcare barriers and we're not sure what we can do to help with that. So we want to join the other folks in Kentucky that are also focused on that particular issue to move us forward. So I've talked a little bit about the what is next, but I think even more importantly is the how we get there. And as we've co-created the strategy issues and mapped out the implementation priorities, we noticed several themes, and you probably heard them as I was giving you those highlights. There was some repetition there, wasn't there? And we think that these, the teal threads are really the critical success factors for the work that we're trying to do in Kentucky. As we move into this next phase of our work on strategy implementation, we'll have these 4 threads that connect our strategies and build the capacity of campus partners across Kentucky to lead this transformational work. The first, the leadership exchange. This recognizes the importance of putting the tools for collaboration, stakeholder engagement, student journey mapping, continuous improvement into your toolbox. We'll share more information later, but we're very excited to grow our capacity for change leadership in Kentucky. The data and research exchange will focus on building out these very targeted KPI data dashboards so that we can measure our progress, but then also engaging with faculty researchers on student voice on all of these key strategy areas. We believe in centering the student's experience in the design of any solutions to address barriers, and we look forward to sharing more later this year on how we can partner with faculty already passionate about these topics to give voice to our most important stakeholder, the student. The Professional Development Exchange seeks to engage the great teaching and learning centers in Kentucky to share and exchange relevant training opportunities on the key issues related to our strategic priorities. This consortium will increase access to high-quality professional development for all of our partners on myriad topics. We're still in the very early stages of connecting with our centers, with our center leaders to co-create the model, but stay tuned for more information in the months to come. And then hopefully you're all familiar with the Impact Exchange, Kentucky's online platform for shared knowledge and resources. The Impact Exchange is packed with over 250 best practice toolkits and playbooks and resources on a variety of student success topics, but it's also a platform for conversation, for discussion, for questions, and for partners like you to share your favorite resources that you think might help others. I know it takes a little while for a new technology platform to gain any kind of recognition or, what is this thing again? But the Impact Exchange is our hub for what's happening with the collaborative. So I really hope that you'll explore this resource and contribute to make it even stronger. There is so much great energy in this room, and I'm really excited for the next 2 days and the next several years to come as we keep moving forward. So that is my quick, I did say I would be quick, update on the collaborative. And now I have just a few housekeeping for us as we take a break and embark upon the summit.